When I heard about Harvey, we knew it wasn't going to hit here necessarily. I wasn't too worried. I really didn't expect it to be as much as it was. I really figured it would blow through. We'd have a lot of downed trees, some water, things like that, not to the amount that we had.
When I first heard about Harvey, I just honestly thought it was going to be like just a little rain. Yeah, I wouldn't think we'll get like a lot of water. I didn't think we were going to flood, you know.
That night for me, I felt fairly safe in staying in my home because it never floods in my neighborhood. So I felt everything was going to be okay. So at 11 o'clock when I checked outside and the water was still in the street, I felt safe and I went on and went to bed. But an hour later, I got a phone call from my mom telling me I needed to look outside and the water was up to the door at that point. And that's when it became more of a frantic thing. And the water came in very quickly after that. Within 20-30 minutes, it was totally flooded. At that point in time, I was just walking around in this water, and I stayed awake that whole night, pretty much stayed on my kitchen counter. And the next day, I started hearing Coast Guard helicopters, and we just waited for someone to come and evacuate me.
It was just a simple day, you know, no school. I remember watching Netflix and my mom coming in my room telling me you need to pack a bag because we might have to leave. So I packed my bag. I really didn't think much of it until I walked in the living room. And I looked in the back door, water just kept coming, and it started to get to our ankles at that moment, and it was scary because you see things and it's like in the movies, you know, it's not gonna happen here, you know, this is reality, it's not gonna, it came.
Inside my house, the water got about 2 feet. In the driveway, we had to walk through the driveway to evacuate, and it was about waist deep. So we left our house on Wednesday afternoon after we heard that we could expect another 2 feet of water, and we decided to come to Sabine Pass because that's where my kids were. So we came down this way, and it was so deep that the only way we could even tell we were still on the road was to put the tire on the center line and feel for the bumps. Other than that, you couldn't see anything. There were waves cresting in the street. It was the scariest thing I've ever been through.
When I evacuated, it was by boat. I was waiting for a Coast Guard helicopter, but the Cajun Navy came through and they rescued everyone in our neighborhood and they took us to higher ground. When we first returned to the neighborhood, it was pretty hard to see everything that we had pretty much washed away.
Everything you've worked for, and all of a sudden, I don't even have a bed or a mattress. I have a couple pairs of jeans and a couple shirts, and that's it. To me, this is my life. This is everything I have laid out in my driveway.
The hardest part is it's probably different for everyone. It's very hard as a single parent to look at everything that I have built on my own. I'll be gone. It's the hardest for me.
It changed my whole outlook on life. I'm starting to learn how not to take things for granted, because we take everyday life for granted. We take just the basic living for granted. Right now I'm living in a hotel. I'm living out a suitcase, and you don't have the life like we used to, so that's what changed.